Hello everyone, my name is Jared Gray, and I am from Montrose High School. And this summer I went to Tucson, Arizona for 5 weeks to study paleoclimatology at the University of Arizona with Nicolette Buckle, who was my main lead mentor. And so what this lab basically does is they take sediment cores from around the world and they bring it back to the lab and do multiple tests and trials on the cores to figure out the drought history in the area. And I specifically worked on a Nepali lake core. And the 3 main tests that I did was loss of ignition, charcoal sampling, and gray size sampling. And so loss of ignition is where you put sediment samples from the core into little crucibles, like right there, and you put them into these ovens, and you cook it at 110, 550, and 1,000 degrees Celsius to burn off water, organic carbon, and inorganic carbon, and you weigh it in between each of these trials. And so charcoal sampling is where you'd put the sediment samples into a cup and put in a bunch of chemicals into it, so then it breaks down the organic matter, and then you'd put it in through a little sieve or strainer to take out all the small unnecessary particles, and then you would pour the rest into a petri dish to where then you would analyze it under a microscope to count all the charcoal particles. And the last sample test I did was grain size, which is where you poured hydrogen peroxide into a little vial along with a sediment sample, and that is to break down all of the organic matter completely, because that's required to be able to accurately do grain size. And so here's my entire internship in one picture. On the top is charcoal sampling data, and here is loss of ignition data, and this is a picture of the core that is that's related to the data above it. So it's kind of cool to see like where the spikes are and stuff. And so some fun things that I did this summer was I watched a lot of lizards, because Arizona's 50% lizards. And I also liked riding my bike, just exploring everywhere. Actually, I had to ride my bike every day to work for about 2 weeks. And the most surprising things was that distilled water is dangerous to drink, which I didn't know before that, but it was kind of useful to know because we worked with distilled water every day. And also that grain size sampling took several months to completely get all the organic matter out. So that's why I was only able to do a small portion of it. And thank you.